Hey everyone, this is Just for 12 here, and right now you're watching the Gamer Prowess channel on YouTube. Today we'll be doing Garry's mod with a part 2 to the Doctor Who TARDIS extensions mod. For those that saw part 1, thank you for watching, and it has received a lot of views. The last time I checked it was at 170, almost at 175 views, and it's a lot of people seem to like that video so much that I'm doing a part 2 to this. So right now on the Garry's Mod Workshop, as you can see, we have these 3 new TARDISes, and this one right here is from Mickey_22. The second one here is from the Vale, or V-A-L-E, almost the Valeyard, or Vale. And the third one is actually from Fuzzy Leo's TARDIS extension, which I did a review on in part 1 with the interior, and also like a blockier version of the TT capsule TARDIS, which this is what it is here, the TT capsule TARDIS, or before the TARDIS changes into the police box that we all know in the show. And this is also how it looks on Gallifrey. This is also a reminder, this is just a review of the exteriors. There are some interiors inside that are not associated with the TARDIS exterior. These are just for placement values. So we're going to start off with this one, Mickey_22's design. So from looking at it, it looks like almost a 1980s TARDIS look to it, because you have the blue sticker on top, which is what the classic Doctors, particularly 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctors had in the show. You can also see that there's actually some blue windows or blue window panels added to the TARDIS, along with the pull to open sign that has a white border along with a blue sticker, just like the police public callback sign. And you also have the 1960s First Doctor themed St. John Ambulance sign, or the classic St. John Ambulance sign, not to get confused with the modern version from the 11th and 12th Doctor era. So one thing I want to say too, looking around, there isn't much details. Well, you can actually see, because this is done with blue paint, you can see some of the wood is starting to wear off. And you can see more of it on this side too, and this side as well. And you can also see the lantern above. I really need to change the key for controlling the no clipping, because I initially set it to control to make it easier, but I guess I have to reset it. But here is the lantern on top of the police box, the roof. Now you notice that this one here has a more circular section, whereas the next one that I'll review in a bit has a more square version, like the classic First Doctor's TARDIS. Now with this exterior, there are some body groups instances that you can change into. So if I select the body group, go to snow, the TARDIS roof is now snowing. Oh gosh, I have to go to control. So that's pretty neat, and you also have some different skins. You have skin 0, which the windows are completely turned off. There is no light whatsoever. Skin 1, it looks like if the Doctor was regenerating inside the TARDIS, this is like the light windows will look like if that was the case. And skin 2 is basically the normal window design. I'm going to remove the snow right now. So that's Mickey_22's design. Very classic. It can definitely be used in a I think I saw someone on YouTube that did a Doctor Who audio series and had a TARDIS design similar to this one that I noticed. But yeah, this is Mickey_22's design. The next one we have is the Veil, or the Valiard, the Veil TARDIS design from that creator. You can see the roof is a lot taller than the previous one. You can see it almost has a more modern approach. It has the black sticker. It has a white border with the black sticker on it, along with the pull to open sign. And a modern version of the St. John ambulance sign as well. You can see some of the windows here. It also has a black base to mimic the first Doctor's TARDIS. And yeah, you can see a little bit of brown smudges, or like weathering is what they call it, or dirt. And yeah, you can see it on the windows as well. With this one, there are some skin options. So if I go skin 0, skin 0 doesn't change anything. I think that's just the main skin. If you move on to skin 1, the windows are more gold. If you move on to skin 2, we have... Now this one I like. The windows are blue, almost like an aquarium color to it. Almost like how it was in Wild Blue Yonder, how the TARDIS windows were turning blue and was about to materialize, leaving the 14th Doctor and Donna in the space station of some sort. Third skin is an orange windows as well. So we're just going to go back to the regular default. So yeah, that's basically also another detail to notice. The keyhole on this TARDIS design is actually on the... when you're looking at it, it's actually on the left side of the TARDIS, but it's actually, if you were to like stand next to it, it's actually on the right. But yeah, I did notice this detail too. So the keyhole on here is actually on the same side as the door handle, which is on the right side. So yeah, they actually do... I like that small detail that they have to make it different from the other TARDISes. And then the third one is Fuzzy Leo's version of the TT capsule TARDIS, which is like the cylinder-shaped TARDIS with a white rectangle door. Now this specific design is also used on Gallifrey when the Time Lords, or when the TARDISes are all displayed. This is the design before it changes into a police box that the Doctor uses. The basic design, there's no lantern, there's no signs or anything, just a regular dome-shaped capsule from Gallifrey. This background is also the same one that I used on my thumbnail for part 1 of the TARDIS extension review. So this is actually called GM_E York, which is a New York inspired map. You can see a lot of references. You see like the George Washington Bridge, the Empire State Building, or a version of that, and then you have this warehouse construction site with some crates. I don't think some of these you cannot open. I'm pretty sure there's some at the very bottom that you can definitely open, but not right now. We have these paint buckets and I guess some toolbox, and you have a crane as well. You can definitely create some poses and scenes in this area. So let me show you quick on the interiors. So this is the War Doctor's TARDIS, and this is just as a base for the TARDIS exterior. These two are not related in any way. This is just as a base. So the War Doctor's TARDIS that was seen in the 2013 special Day of the Doctor to commemorate the show's 50th anniversary. And this introduces a new incarnation of the Doctor that was around during the Time War. And of course, after the 8th Doctor failed to save a companion that was about to have their ship crash. So the 8th Doctor, of course, regenerates into a version called the War Doctor, which John Hurt plays in the 50th, and this is the TARDIS that he uses. The console obviously looks familiar because this is the 9th and 10th Eccleston and Tennant TARDIS. So yeah, not much is new to this because it uses the exact same model. So yeah, you have the same dematerialization lever. You also have the same scanner, monitor, laptop here. You also have the same lights and compasses, including the phone that was used in the 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS. And you also have this section here. It looks like a monitor or like a mirror of some sort. So and there's actually a cool feature. If you press this here, this like sphere element right here, it takes you to a little bit of information on the TARDIS. So obviously that's the War Doctor's TARDIS exterior. I did see it myself, and it is a really interesting exterior, because you can see some like dirt and scratches marks, and it has a very small lantern at top. But the overall shape of the place box is more closer to the 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS that I can see. It looks maybe but yeah, and this is a nice font title for the War Doctor's TARDIS as well. And that's another screenshot of the interior. And you have the hexagon, or the round things, and you also have an Among Us, a red Among Us. So let's head back into the TARDIS. Okay, so that's it for the War Doctor's TARDIS. It has basically the elements from the early 2000s TARDIS, as well as the 1960s design, which, for those that have seen this show, you'll remember very well. Okay, so let's move on to the next interior design. The Fugitive Ruth Doctor's TARDIS. This is obviously the one that was seen in Fugitive of the Judoon, which is a 13th Doctor's episode. There have been a lot of theories when this Doctor came. A lot of people were saying because they have a classic Doctor's TARDIS, a classic 1960s inspired TARDIS, that it may be connected to the second Doctor or the season 6 B theory in the regeneration between the second and third Doctor. The Ruth Doctor is also coming back, or the Fugitive Doctor will be returning in Big Finish, which is an audio company in the UK. So you can tell you can open these doors, and it leads into the first Doctor's TARDIS. Let me close these. And we also have an earlier design of the vault locator. Even though there is no buttons or switches as of yet, this is like an earlier design. You also have the ceiling from the first and second Doctor's TARDIS. And you also have this Gallifrey text display showing different symbols and planets, and some small bits of data. And you also have this I guess to like I'm not sure if this is actually in the episode or not, but you have this like almost hallway shaped wall. I guess it's just to like make fill it in with something. I'm not sure if it's actually in the episode, but yeah, it is there for aesthetic purposes. And you also have this, not exactly a coral panel, but you have this almost coral inspired. I'm not sure what you would call this exactly, but it's a some sort of section panel to prevent like any prevent any gaps from being shown. You also have another door here, and this is the outside of the set, and you can see there's a red chair that you cannot sit on. It's basically the first Doctor's TARDIS chair. And you can see there's some cardboard or some piece of wood in it. Oh. And let me hit back in. Okay. You can also see there's a back view of the outside view of the round things, and as well as the line grids, some lights as well from today's studio. And you also got the door that leads to the exit. But even though the door is not open, it's just for a design decoration. Okay, so that is it for that section. So we're just gonna close that up. And now we're gonna head outside. Oh, and you can see these are actually the doors from the fugitive Doctor's TARDIS, or the first Doctor's TARDIS from Twice Upon a Time. So yeah, that is the Veil's TARDIS. And of course you have the interior. This interior is actually from the Dr. Kleiner's TARDIS extension, or the exterior to this is actually a soda vending machine that was seen in Half-Life 2, which I still have the game, and I'm also going to be continuing that game as well, so stay tuned for that. We also have the interior, where you can see there's different monitors displaying certain information. You have this one, the destination select screen. You also have the manual flight control. This one, you can basically select where you want the TARDIS to go. I've did it before this video, and it does have a lot of different ways to transport the TARDIS. You also have this one, which displays certain information on the TARDIS. You have the virtual console and the coordinates input, along with some arrows to navigate this section. You also have a big magnifying glass to look at whatever okay, so here you can see a better look of it. Here's a smaller version. You have some like data being recorded, and it's being thrown into recycle. You also have Dr. Kleiner's pet's cage. You also have the display where Gordon Freeman's suit would be displayed. You can also, well, you cannot access it right now, but yeah, this is the display that Gordon Freeman's suit would be held. You have additional computer monitors and some cameras, a radio, some sort of alien science technology, some sort of and also makes a noise too. Some books, a set of lockers, some crates, more crates. You have an HEV suit repair, a portrait of the Black Mesa members. And then you have another room here that has a teleporter that you see in Half-Life 2 when Gordon enters it and Dr. Kleiner, and Gordon's friend from Black Mesa, Barney, that rescues you in the earlier in the game. They test out this teleporter, and if you saw from the first Half-Life 2 video that I did, you'll notice that Gordon is experiencing problems with the teleporter. So let me close this up real quick. So we're gonna continue here. We have these orange tubes here, and we have this scanning machine computer that reads information on what this is and what the properties of it are. You also got a soda can and also some engines here, as well as a ventilation system. So yeah, this looks more like a facility, almost some sort of warehouse look to it. You can see like the walls here are like very beige, a greenish yellow. Like it's starting, this building, this lab has been around for a while and it's starting to like lose its quality. So yeah, and there's definitely more exteriors that you can find in this extension. So yeah, this is basically it here. So that concludes those three TARDISes, sorry, those three TARDISes, along with the interior review of it. And I guess I can review some of the features in GM_York. So obviously this water is actually, you can actually swim in it. Okay, that's where you cannot even jump in. So yeah, there is a lot of areas that you can visit. This isn't an exact accurate version of New York. I mean, this is just like the Garry's mod version of it, or this is on a budget, New York City on a budget. It does have some of the graphic signs. You have like those types of signs that you would see in New York. You have some buildings. Let me just skip down real quickly so you can see it. So yeah, you have like there's a 7-Eleven, which is a 7-Eleven. You also have a tunnel that leads down into like another area of the city. Some of these tunnels actually just lead into nothing but a black wall, so I'm not sure if that leads into somewhere or not. You have some buildings that lead to nothing. You have a hallway right here. This almost looks more like Crime Alley from DC Comics. You can see like a version of Bruce Wayne's parents dead, or one of them. There's a basketball court. Yeah, you also have a Chinatown. And there's definitely some other features that you can explore in this map. It's also called GM_York. And there is a nighttime version of this as well that I can link in the description below of this video if you want to check it out. So yeah, there's just like a lot of stuff you can explore here. So yeah, some of these doors, yeah, you cannot. Yeah, so this one you cannot open. This one you can open. You can see the interior. This is more like a bar. And you also have a jewelry store. Jewelry store. Jewel. You also have a train station that has a moving train. You can go in here, go down here, and there will be a train here. Now obviously the train is coming, but we're not going to be going to the train yet. We're just going to be heading back up. to wrap up the video. So again, from part 1 of the TARDIS extension video, that video was received very well by a lot of viewers that watched it, so thank you again. And of course, this is part 2 of it, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, and if this receives more views, I'll definitely be looking at more TARDIS models on the Garry's Mod Workshop, and if they appeal to me and they look good, then I'll definitely do a review on that. I'll also be reviewing another game on Steam, which is a house renovating simulator called House Flipper. The first game and also the sequel. So thank you guys for watching. Again, you're watching the Gamer Prowess channel over on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.